Uprooted Theatrical Studios presents.
Hey guys, last Saturday we asked you guys to send us what theater means to you. Since several of you sent us responses, and we wanted to take the time and read them to you guys just to hear how theater has impacted other people. This one comes from Peter Atkins. What theater means to me. I can tell you about an early experience of theater. I was 6 years old, sitting in a theater, my one fear being that someone would come and say I was in the wrong seat, then angrily berate me as I went from seat to seat to seat, constantly finding the wrong one. This never happened, thank God, but there was always something with the tension you feel sitting in the audience. Then sudden thrill like you took a plunge on a roller coaster as the lights dim. The curtains draw back and an actor steps forward. For this earliest memory, the actor stepped forward in a nightdress. She was telling a story about a different world, where children flew to an island. Her two younger brothers listened to the story on stage and acted like they too were enjoying the story. The thing is, I forgot everything I was worried about being in the wrong seat, which I didn't realize until after the show, about all my insecurities, about anything that I didn't like in my world because I wasn't in my world anymore. I was captured and completely absorbed in the world that was unfolding on stage, caught up with 3 children and a flying boy. Theater has a way of taking us to a different world that feels so real, especially as a kid. I love to get lost in another world. It's made me want to try to do that, to create the same experience in so many different ways. It felt like I was being a part of something bigger than me, whether I was in the audience or acting. It made me feel like I belonged. This is what I had written for a long while. I don't really know how to end it. I don't know if I expressed all my feelings in the right way. I guess it's up to your interpretation. I hope at least some bit connects with you.
This submission is from Brianna Theobald. Theater to me means coming together to share the deepest and truest meaning of someone else's story. To offer a trusting, non-judgmental, and compassionate hand for the audience, letting them join us on the journey to bring forth every facet of human nature within the deepest part of one's soul.
Theater to me, at its core, means a celebration of life. It is communication and understanding, and it has the ability to bring people together for hours at a time and let them lose themselves and immerse themselves in a story that has the potential to change their lives. It is storytelling at its finest, and storytelling is the fabric of who we are as human beings. So it is integral to our communication and to our survival in our culture.
This next submission is from Sammy Gaynor. Dear Theater, after years of being in a relationship with you, I still come to discover your many facets. I didn't know you were quite so personable. I didn't know how uncomfortable you can make some people feel, how uncomfortable you can make me feel. I didn't know that in other countries, actors inherit your work and surrender their lives in understanding their own interpretation of you. I still don't understand how your new ideas are simply old ones. I still don't understand how there's so many different theories and yet usually a common universal theme. I don't understand how people might lose their life for you. I don't understand, and I still don't understand. Must one have multiple life experiences in order to hear you clearly? This is what I do understand. You are so powerful, politicians fear you. You are so impactful, people have to leave in order for their lives not to be changed. You are so empathetic, even a monster can be justified. You are so personable that you don't need a space, characters, or a story to touch people's lives. You are so complicated that I have to attend a 4-year university in order to begin to understand what you can do. I am still in love with you, and I understand we have to continue to work on our relationship so that we can understand each other. It is my job to listen to others whether I agree or not because I am in love with you. It is my job to experience different styles because I want to embody you. It is my job to be an active citizen and to be a participant in conversations to further my knowledge so that I may give it to you. It is my job to love you each and every day, even though I may not understand you. I do not hate you. Forever yours, Sammy.
All right, and this one comes from Brian. Theater to me is the ability to make people smile and laugh and generally forget about their trouble that they have. It is putting on something that people are going to enjoy and be happy about as they leave the theater. It's a way to provide joy to people, and that is what makes it so special. Plus, for the artist, it is a wonderful thing to be able to express different characters on stage and see how your performance can bring people joy and lighten up their day or evening, just providing an escape from the reality for a few hours.
The next submission is from Maddie Hoag. Theater to me means community, no matter what aspect you work in. I no longer act, but I've gotten into more of the behind-the-scenes stuff, and even then, you still feel like part of something bigger. I love every second of it, and can't wait till we can all work on it again.
What theater means to me? Theater is a way of bringing people together. It's a way of connecting every single person in the room to what's going on stage and making them all feel a certain way. It's an escape. It's a way to start a conversation or express how you're feeling about certain issues that might not otherwise be acceptable to talk about. It's a place to feel safe. Theater is a family, and theater is a home for those who feel like they don't belong anywhere else.
And so I'd like to share with you all what theater means to me. So to me, theater is universal. Theater is open. Theater is forever. I've been thinking a lot about what is going to happen to the theater industry now that the pandemic is upon us, and the conclusion I have come to is that something so timeless, emotionally charged, and significant will never disappear. Looking around, I see people turning to the arts for comfort, entertainment, and escape. It is one of the only things that through history has always been there for us. Theater to me is home. The stories that we get to tell are ones that no matter how big or small need to be expressed. Theater artists are some of the most empathetic, strongest. Theater artists are some of the strongest, most empathetic, passionate, and powerful people I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. As uncertain as things are in our present day, I know in my heart that theater isn't going anywhere. It's too important for everyone, whether they realize it or not. To me, theater brings people together and opens them up to a world and experience they never could have had before. Theater can bring people together. Theater can teach us about each other. Theater can embed empathy. Theater can help you escape. Theater can spark a movement. Theater is constantly adapting. Theater can do all of this and so much more. Because theater is universal, theater is open, and theater is forever.
Okay, so I wanted to take some time and share my own belief on how theater has impacted me. I grew up in a very sports dedicated family. My brothers played football. Another brother of mine played lacrosse. My dad was a football player. My mom was a baton twirler. And I tried probably every sport there was imaginable. I tried soccer. I tried basketball. I tried volleyball. There was a lot of different sports that I tried, and none of them really brought me too much joy. I did find one sport that I really enjoyed, and that was field hockey. But I always had a love for performing. When I was in 5th grade, I got to dance and sing to the song Material Girl. And I just dove into it. I gave that performance my all, and I just loved it. It's kind of really when I first kind of felt that theater was something that I really enjoyed doing. But again, I put theater on the back burner for a little bit and tried sports. And I kept coming back to the world of theater. And so I actually had to choose in high school whether or not I wanted to do sports or theater. And ultimately, I decided to choose theater. And I have never regretted that decision since. It was for me a place to escape. It's where I felt safe. It was a place to come to at any state of mind I was in. I could be sad, I could be angry, I could be just overly happy. It was a place I knew where I was accepted no matter the state I was in. And that's just something so comforting to have. It's a place where anybody can gather from any different backgrounds, and we are all sharing the same experience together of watching this show or performing. We are in this together. And I don't think there's many other things that there are other things out in this world that really can't do that, because in sports you have opposing teams. One team's rooting for another team, other people are rooting for the other team. But in theater, we're experiencing the same thing. We watch this and we just get overwhelmed by what we're seeing and what we're feeling inside these characters that are being brought to life. So theater is just something that I think will go on for the eternity of time, until the end of time. I don't think it's a dying art form, because there's always going to be that need for expression and love and acceptance. So that is what theater means to me, guys. Thank you so much. We enjoyed reading these and hearing your guys' thoughts. It's so inspiring to see what other people's journeys are. So thank you so much for that.